Early Sunday morning. I still have traces of yesterday's makeup on my face, but so be it. I'm here because I want to make a video tutorial about how to make kombucha. And it's one of those things, it's not complicated, but it's kind of hard to put into words. So let's make a video so you can see me do it step by step. So this is a big ol' honkin' jar. Just for size reference, like this is the big wide mouth jar. I don't know how many ounces this guy is, but I bought him at Hobby Lobby with a 40% off coupon. So you're gonna want a big jar like this because it's gotta hold, let's see, 15 cups worth of water. So 15 cups times 8 ounces. You do that math and you figure out if the jar you're eyeing is big enough, but that's what you gotta do. These three friends here, I just bought these at Michael's. Again, use one of those dang coupons. I like them because they just seal really easily. And 3 of them hold my kombucha. So that's all you need. Again, I don't know how many ounces these are. I don't know the stickers on them anymore. But take this many ounces divided by 3 and that's what you need. Now I might kind of be doing this video in reverse because this is my kombucha. It's been through the first fermentation. We're going to do 2 fermentations for kombucha. This is the first one. So this is fizzy, but not flavored yet. And this weird thing on top, this is my SCOBY. So the SCOBY, it's an acronym for symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast, SCOBY. So this is a living thing. This is what ferments the sugar that we add to it and turns it into the bubbles, the fizz. So like I said, this has gone through the first fermentation. This has been sitting on my countertop for about 10 days now. I always write down on my little whiteboard when I started my last kombucha, because otherwise I lose track. So what I'm gonna do to add the flavor, I'm gonna take my SCOBY. I know it's kind of weird. It's okay if little bits fall out. I'm gonna set it in this separate jar. And I'm gonna add 2 cups of this liquid. I'll actually measure it out. I'm gonna add 2 cups to this jar. All right, so this is my 2 cups plus the SCOBY. I just use a little coffee filter plus a rubber band. I think it's pretty cute. It looks like it's a little hat, like he's a little shepherd or something. But we're gonna reserve this. So I am just going to go place it on my countertop. I like this dark corner. Sometimes I call it the corner of doom because stuff ends up here and it just kind of stays here for forever. But I cleaned it yesterday. It's looking good. Don't want it in sunlight. Doesn't have to be refrigerated. Room temp is fine, just not in direct sunlight. So now back to this friend. So I distributed this between the 3 bottles. Now I'm ready to add my fruit to flavor the kombucha. Again, you could just drink it right now. I mean, it's made out of tea, but I like to flavor it with fruit. As far as fruit goes, really, you could do any combination you want. I've tried a ton of them. This one is my favorite lately. I just take a peach or a nectarine and then some wild berries that I had picked the other week. I've done strawberries, blueberries, oranges, plus ginger is really good. And you can use frozen or fresh. These berries are frozen. It really doesn't matter. So just divide up all these fruits between the 3 bottles and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, I've added my fruit. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm gonna take these bottles and I'm gonna go put them with their SCOBY friend here in the corner. And these are gonna hang out for a few days. I always do at least 2 days. You could really do it like up to a week probably, but don't let it go more than, I would say 3 or 4 days without cracking it open and letting the air, because as it ferments, it's going to release carbon dioxide bubbles and that air could build up. And in theory, if this gets too filled with air pressure inside, it could burst the bottle. So it's called burping the kombucha, I guess. I've never had it explode and I've definitely forgotten about the bottles for a few days, but anyways, in theory, that could happen. So I've got my next round of kombucha then will sit for a few days and I want to get the next round going too because I don't know, I just keep this train going. That's what I do. So here is what it's going to look like to kind of start from scratch, I guess. So if you don't have any kombucha and you want to make some, here's where you should really be starting. in a large pot of water over high heat. I've got 13 cups of water that I'm going to bring to a boil. I'm gonna grab my tea bags. Oh, do I want to make it known what this looks like in here? Oh, it's not too bad. It's right behind my protein powder. I always do green tea. I like it. Green tea does have proven health benefits. Not necessarily like significantly more so than other types of tea, but I just like it. You could use black tea, white tea, red tea, but no flavor tea. So don't be getting like mint tea or mango tea or anything like that. Just your plain tea. And you're gonna need 5 tea bags. My water's simmering, it's pretty much done. To this big old jar, I added 1 whole cup of sugar, which might seem like a lot, but again, we're making like 15. Yes, hi babe. Yeah, you look cute in your nightgown. It seems like a lot, but this is what the bacteria and the yeast are going to eat, and then again give off the carbon dioxide gases as a byproduct. So you gotta have food for your living thing that's in that guy. And then I've got my 5 tea bags, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the hot water to the sugar and the tea bags. All right, so I've stirred it up, the sugar's all dissolved. I'm gonna leave the tea bags in there for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna take them out, and then this is still gonna be like super duper hot. We don't wanna add that reserved SCOBY and kombucha back because then the heat would just kill it. So you gotta wait for this whole thing to get down to room temperature, which in my house pretty much takes all day, but that's okay. We'll just add that to the corner with our other friends again in about 10 minutes after I take out the tea bags. So it is later and my kombucha now is cooled off. So I'm going to show you the final step. My batch from earlier with the berries is already starting to turn that really pretty color. So we're going to take the reserved kombucha with the SCOBY. Sorry for the screaming children outside. I should really go tend to them. This is my cooled off tea. I'm going to just add this in, and I'm going to turn up the video so I can do this with 2 hands. So if you're starting from scratch and you don't have that reserved 2 cups of kombucha and a SCOBY, all you have to do is go to the store and buy a bottle of already made kombucha and just add 2 cups of that to your tea. Cover it with that coffee filter and rubber band because you want to let it breathe while keeping the bugs out, because that stuff really attracts fruit flies. But anyway, so you add your kombucha, let it sit for 10 to 14 days, and don't disturb it at all. Put it in a dark place, or dark-ish. I mean, again, corner of your kitchen is just fine. Keep it there for 10 to 14 days, and that little SCOBY will start to form. Now, every time you go through the cycle again, that SCOBY's gonna get a little thicker, 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 and it's almost like layers that you can peel apart. So, like, I got my SCOBY from my brother-in-law. He just peeled apart some of his SCOBY and gave it to me. It's just my own children doing that. Now they're knocking on the door too. What was I even saying? SCOBY. So as that SCOBY gets thicker, I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back. All right, so she needed a Band-Aid real bad, apparently. So as your SCOBY gets thicker, you can peel it apart, and if you don't have someone to give it to, just throw it away. So use your judgment, but all you need is that little thin layer of a SCOBY that will form with your tea and existing kombucha, whether or not you buy it in the store or you've got your reserved leftovers. So that's my super disjointed kombucha tutorial. Yeah, oh, I forgot to add my dietitian bit. So why do I even like kombucha? To be honest, there are no legit peer-reviewed medical research studies that show benefit to drinking kombucha. It's a fermented drink. Mama. Yes, hi. I like it though because it's super low calorie, super low sugar, and it's just a good drink. Like, it's refreshing, and it's not, it's not a calorie bomb. You do get a little bit of vitamin C if you add the fruit to it. So for me, it's just a really good, refreshing drink that doesn't have artificial sweeteners, doesn't have calories, and again, very little sugar. So that, to be honest, is why I like it. Maybe it has health benefits that just haven't been concretely proven yet, so time will tell. But it's still a good, delicious drink to add to your routine.